Hi, my name is Shirvon Vigilant. Okay, well, first of all, I'm from Mao, right? And before Mao, I would say used to and somewhat still is a vibrant community when it comes to culture, all right? So that is the where it began. It began at home, all right? And then from home to school, from school into the communities, into the whole of Dominica, interacting with different type of cultures, not only from Mahu, but Grand Bay, Portsmouth, Carib Territory, etc. And that just helped me to develop my own part to play in the cultural aspect of Dominica. Well, when we speak of traditional, I would say honestly, no, I don't believe that our young people share the same passion that I share for traditional culture. Out of tradition, yes, their interest is based on out of tradition when it comes to culture. However, with traditional, I think they need to play a bigger part in traditional in regards to our dances, our cultural music, the cultural instruments, the gouache, the siyak, the accordion. We need more young people in that area. Other areas, as in the bouyon, the soca, the reveling, carnival, summer, yes, that's what they like. But when it comes to traditional, I don't think they play big part in that, and I think that's where we need to improve when it comes to their interest as young people. Well, like you said earlier, or I am, identified as a veteran culture. And as a part of that, I have worked hand in hand very, very closely with the cultural division of Dominica, right? And they have seen me as a teacher. So we have created programs where I would go to the schools around the island to actually teach these young people and have short conversations with them about their interests and what they think to themselves about culture. And I would also share my knowledge when it comes to the traditional culture. And this is how I would bring them to actually take part and be a part of the culture. So, based on what we know about history, or African ancestors or European ancestors, um, all this besides culture as we know it, as in the Jinping dances, the belly, and so on, all this derives from that slavery time where the slaves would be happy that slavery was abolished, or I should say, happy that their masters no longer beat them, or they got that free time where they would put on makeup and different costumes and dance to the different rhythms of the drums. All these are part of our carnival today. Because if you tend to look at our opening, we had different traditional groups. For example, the Moko Jombi, the Koliho band movie, the La Plain band movie, with where they would dress all in black and they had their whips. The whips signifying that they are now the masters of their own fate, of their own future. We also had the lapo kabwit. Back in the day, we would not have drummers walking, but we would have drummers standing together, drumming to different songs of revelation. So today, now what we have is that actual 21st century group, Lapu Kabwit group, doing the same thing that we did in time of slavery. Well, I have already taken part in the old mass, I would say. All right. I look forward to the Carnival Monday traditional parade. I will also be taking part in that. You can see me in my sensay or my Lapo Kabwit group. I haven't made up my mind as yet. And besides the traditional, if we have to say about culture, I'll also be taking part in, or supporting, I should say, our individual promoters who actually host events to actually add to the calendar of events for the carnival. Okay, well, I can speak on my upcoming event, that is Carnival. All right, I tend to think out of the box when doing events. We here in Dominica, we are known for the bouyon music, somewhat soca as well. However, carnival, our carnival is unique, and carnival on a whole is something that the whole world looks forward to when it comes to the Caribbean. So I try to, when I do events, add a bit of all the different types of traditional carnival performers to my events. So for that is Carnival, I'll be having the original Queen of Soca, which is Alison Hines. Someone we haven't heard from in a while, yet her hits are still being played on our radio stations. She's been performing over the world, so that is what I believe in. You can have your buyo, we can have our buyo, but still add other traditional aspects to our carnival to make it, to just continue that uniqueness of it. Well, based on the nature of the event, I believe that is a big part to play when selecting your venue. For example, you can have a cocktail event at the forecourt of the stadium. If you understand where I'm coming from, you want to have it in a wonderful hall, well dressed and so on and so forth. So I think that is one of the main things I think of is the nature of the event, what type of event I want to do, so that when I know what I want to do, then I can select the perfect venue for that event. With all honesty, I believe that Buyo music is one of the most unique songs, music that we have here in this, I should say, if not the Caribbean, but the world. I don't think that we are where we're supposed to be when it comes to Buyo music. However, I think that we are on our way if we just continue to work together, keep united, no division. We can hit the top. You never know, it might be bigger than soca. I think we should not try to be like other islands. Stick to what we already have and try and build on it. Because if you have to look at, for example, Trinidad, which is looked at one of the number one carnival countries in the Caribbean, you would see that we have a lot of supporters from their country at our carnival during our carnival season, right? That means that they support our tradition. They love what we bring out when it comes to that carnival aspect. So I honestly believe that we should just stick to what we know, build on our history of our traditional carnival, and we'll be all right. Others will identify us as that unique carnival. Others will say, boy, I love Dominica's carnival. I don't have to always pay to go into an event. I don't always have to stand on the side of the road and I can join a band. I can join a band freely. I can put a sensay and revel like everyone else. I can beat a pot and a pan. I can join a lapo kabwit. I can blow a conch shell and be like the original conch shell man from Dominica, right? So once we stick to that vibrant, historic culture that we have, or carnival, or tradition, or festivals, we'll reach the top. My name is Shirvon Vigilant, and this is my carnival story.